Welcome to another episode of Mr. Tony's Hip Hop School. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Wanted to bring some clarity to a situation. I know I hear a lot of people saying that gangster rap started with NWA. No, it didn't start with NWA. Honestly, I'm not really proud to brag about that, cause but I mean, the media pinned them as the originators of gangster rap. I mean, in my opinion, there really wasn't no such thing as gangster rap. That's just a title they gave it. Anything we do, it always has to be super violent. NWA and most rappers like NWA, they were just storytellers. Some was telling what's going on in the hood, and some was just storytelling fantasy stuff that went on in the hood. I mean, but of course the media get a hold of it. Oh, gangster rap, and those guys are gangsters. Anyway, so the first gangster hip hop rapper, MC, whatever, was Schoolie D. He's the one. And you can also say, I mean, it was Schoolie D, but you can also put in there Ice-T. Ice-T, a lot of his rap music back then was like gangster lace rap music. I used to listen to Ice-T, especially when I was down south. I mean, it was so many. Down south, you got a mixture of down south hip hop, Midwest, West Coast, mostly East Coast, of course, but Schoolie D, if you listen to his music, a lot of his music is very in your face. Two of my favorite songs he made was off of his second album. No, it may have been his first album. I'm sorry. His first album was, it was his first album. I think it was just titled Schoolie D. It had Gucci Time, PSK. And then I do remember his second album, which was called Saturday Night, had the song Saturday Night. That was the song that was played on the radio. I mean, altogether he had about 10 albums, but he's mainly remembered for his first two. I mean, he made music from '85 all the way up until a couple of years ago, but it just wasn't. I just think he made music just to make music. You know what I mean? Just because that's what he wanted to do. That's what he loved to do. But his biggest hits was PSK, Gucci Time, and Saturday Night. Those are the big ones. PSK is probably my favorite because of the beat. Gucci Time was just very catchy. I was in high school when that was out, and I remember everybody was singing that, "Look at my Gucci is about that time." It was a catchy song because of that, but it was the shit. I really enjoyed Schoolie D because he was hard hitting. His DJ was Cold Money. He was from West Philly. He's from Philly, so I was supporting that big time. And I mean, he was known for his live shows as well. He was supposed to be a little wild on the stage, so I just wanted to give a shout out to Schoolie D. He represented Philly well. I never was into all that, gangster rap. That's just something the media gave it just to give it some kind of, you know what I mean? One, to give it flavor, and two, to label us as just out here just killing and doing all kinds of nonsense. When a lot of us, yeah, you got some of us that did that, but a lot of us didn't. So, they got to do, and then also to sell records, you know what I mean? So, but I never was one that, I never looked at him as a gangster rapper. I looked at him as a rapper from Philly. That's what I looked at him as, and he's one of my favorite. He definitely contributed to the culture. If you never heard of Schoolie D, just pull up Schoolie D, PSK, Gucci Time, and Saturday Night. I actually listened to his first album. It was just named Schoolie D. It was self-titled, and it was out in '85 because I know I was in about '85. I was in the 11th grade. No, '85. I was in the 10th grade. Yeah, I was in the 10th grade. It was around that time, and it was all that, man. Now you gotta remember. I mean, these are the earlier years of hip hop. So, but I mean, for me, I think that PSK, that production on that. That was different, man. That's what I'm saying. The 80s ain't no joke, man. A lot of people be sleeping on the 80s as if it was like Stone Age. Nah, man. Especially once you got past Run DMC, because Run DMC came out in '83. So once you got to about '85, '86, the production got better. It got a lot better. So we went from like the hip, the hop, the hibbity, ball to the ball, the bang, what was it, ball to the ball, the dang, diggy ball. We moved from that. So, and PSK definitely shows that, because that's what I liked about that song was the beat. Cold Money scratching too. It was alright, you know what I mean? I gotta do a video on my favorite DJs of all time. I'm talking about actual DJs, not even really producing. I'm talking about an actual DJ. Somebody that actually cuts and scratches and mixes and all that. But because that's a lost art, man. People do that at parties, but I'm talking about as far as on an actual, in a song. I'm talking about like somebody that's making money off of that, as far as in the studio. But anyway, shout out to you, Schoolie D. If you happen to see this video, I loved your music. I think a lot of us did. And if there's a Hall of Fame, I know there's the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I'm just saying in hip hop. If there was a Hall of Fame for hip hop, you be in it. Don't forget to like, share, and Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Tell me what you think. Mr. Tony's Hip Hop School out.